Rise and grind, folks. What we have here is another video. The complaint was that every year, this is a heat pump system. It seems that every year this system leaks Freon, and the customer said that another contractor came out, I want to say towards the end of last summer, and he filled up the system. It cooled, but it didn't stay on, or it didn't cool like past like maybe 2 months. The reason why I'm making this video right now is not summertime, it's still January. As far as with diagnosing AC systems, and this is a heat pump, by the way, a Payne 2, I think it's a 3-ton heat pump. But the reason why I'm making this video is that you can technically diagnose AC units in the wintertime, but you have to really be tricky. You have to really be careful as far as with adding refrigerant, because one thing we tell customers is, as far as with the temperature outside right now, it's very, very cold. And as you can see, I'm going to show you guys the numbers. This is R410A as well too. My high side is like barely, what is it, 115, 110, 115. So my pressures are very, very low. Now the last thing we want to do is diagnose AC systems with it being cold outside, because automatically, if there's no humidity, no heat outside, this AC system is not going to be under a load. And if the AC system is not under a load, then all your pressures, your amperage, everything is going to be lower than normal. So you got to be careful. You can't confuse a low ambient day with the system being flat on charge or low on refrigerant. So you definitely got to do your due diligence and just make sure, if you can, try to diagnose AC systems when the weather outside is at a minimum 70 degrees. Because if the outside temperature is above 70 degrees or 70 degrees minimum, at that point, that's enough load on the system, or that's enough load, from the ambient temperatures outside. That's enough to at least give you a decent reading, as far as the pressures. But yeah, I mean, putting 2 and 2 together, I know it's cold outside, but knowing the history of this system, doing a leak check will probably be the best bet. This Payne heat pump is probably, I want to say, at least close to 10 years old. So this thing isn't brand new. But yeah, anytime, like you say, you have a system, depends on the age and condition. You always want to do a proper evaluation, take into account the outside temperatures. But as far as with this, for sure, it's low on refrigerant. It's not exactly where you want it at. And right now, the system is running in AC mode. You can test the pressures on a heat pump in heating mode, but in order to charge it properly, you have to turn the thermostat to AC and charge it with AC. Now, me personally, our company policies are like this. We come out to make a repair, refrigerant related to a heat pump in the winter. We always come back out in the springtime to make sure everything is okay. So the more of the story is, guys, you definitely want to make sure that your heat pumps and your AC units are working fine in the summertime, because especially if you have a heat pump, remember this heat pump runs in the wintertime as well. But if you have a heat pump, this thing is definitely not going to work very well if you have refrigerant problems in the summertime. And just like my previous videos, just remember, if this heat pump is running but it doesn't have adequate refrigerant charge, now your electric heat inside is going to run all the time, and now your bill is going to be sky high. So I'm just making this video. We might have to schedule a leak test. I'm going to talk with the homeowner and see, and talk about the options that we have. But this system isn't under warranty, so depends on on their situation. I mean, at a minimum, doing a leak check would definitely be recommended. But if they want to keep the system or not, that's something that we'll have to discuss, because at this point, refrigerant is definitely not going to get any more cheaper. And they've been dealing with this now for like the past 2 or 3 years. So, and you can see here, the lines are coming up out the ground, and that could possibly be Well, we'll know once you do a leak check, but whenever I see exposed refrigerant lines, you know, who knows, like I said, you know, what condition those lines are in. But yeah, guys, so for sure, like I said, whenever you check heat pumps in the wintertime, remember, you can check right now, my pressures are running in AC mode. But you can always, and you can open up the indoor panel of the heat pump, and you'll see what your pressure should be based on the ambient temperatures. But if this thing was working right in the summertime, then you know your heat pump is going to be okay in the winter. But in this situation, knowing that we had issues in the summertime this past year with them adding refrigerant and it's still not working, I definitely would recommend doing a leak check, and also I'll go over the options as far as with, you know, getting this unit replaced. So there you guys have it. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one.